people ask is this, does this prolong the longevity of the tree? Does it shorten the life of the tree? I don't know. I would like to think that out in nature, animals are coming by and they're eating it and they're cutting it too, regularly throughout the 40 years, 50 years of the tree. There is an art to it, a respect to it. Trying to do it in nature with love. It's like it's like it's not bad that we eat animals. What's bad is that we eat them unconsciously. It's not bad that we're cutting back trees or cutting down trees for use. It's the lack of thought and care of the earth, of the planet, of the nature, of the animals when we're doing it. So when you're doing it, just let the tree know what you're doing. Say, hey, look, I know you grew up, mama. You grew up real tall. And I want more food from you. And ask for permission. I mean, get a little bit of spirit in you and talk like with the Native Americans and say, hey, with the buffalo, just like with the buffalo, we're going to use every part of you. We're going to use every part of you. We're asking for this to eat and also to give back to more people and to take care of ourselves. Would you be willing to provide us with this abundance? And just take a moment to ask for permission. Nature then will bring those nutrients up from the soil as soon as you ask. Those nutrients from the soil that have been locked down there, they're going to come up, and she's going to bring the most amount of nutrients up there for you because you've asked her. She's going to make even more abundance for you. You might even see those leaves green up more, plump up more right in front of your eyes. So as long as you're conscious about everything that you're doing with respect, she will reward you with even more drumsticks. And this is how I try to practice and also not judge other people for what they do and how they eat and how they do things in farming. I mean, I was cutting a tree out in St. Pete maybe a year or two ago, and the lady didn't understand what I was doing. And there was another guy too that gathered around. I mean, they got their phones out and everything, and they're like, "Tree cutter," and he's cutting down the tree, and I'm in the tree, and I'm saying, "Thank you, Miss Moringa. Thank you, Miss Moringa. I love you. Thank you so much. We're gonna take these drumsticks. We're gonna eat them. Thank you so much." And I mean, they were throwing rocks at me and stuff. It was weird. And I was like, "What is going on? They don't even know what I'm doing right now." This is where it's like difficult operating in the public realm versus the private, and why you may not hear about Moringa, because given the practices of farming Moringa, it may not seem, because we're having to cut it a lot, it may not seem like we're doing things right or we're doing things in nature. But this is just the Moringa tree. This is just what I've been trying to tell people for years. It's unique. It's its own thing, and we have to learn more about the Moringa tree to understand it, to overstand what we're doing. And I said, "Lady, your freaking house is made of wood. Chill out. You're messing with me because I'm actually getting food." And this lady's like, "Rah, rah, rah." And I'm like, "Hey, your whole house cut down several hundred trees. Don't be a hypocrite. Just respect everything that's going on." When someone has an issue with food and is pointing fingers like, "Oh, you eat this, you eat that," and I've been guilty of this. Just focus on yourself, because you'll get more answers as to how you can produce more food for yourself in nature. I mean, I've been trying to figure out this whole thing with permaculture and and I feel sometimes like I'm outside of nature, you know, because I don't know, because of plastics and um, plastic pots and when I first started working here 5 years ago at this exact location, I was like, oh man, like what am I doing and what am I getting into? Because I was like, oh, I want to be all nature, nature, nature. I want to get out of the classroom, and so I'm like, I'm going to be a farmer. I'm going to be a nurseryman. And then I get into the business and I see like I'm just sticking plants in plastic pots and having to fertilize them and having to spray water on them to feed them. And I'm like, man, this is so messed up. We're literally just like farming. You don't realize it. Farming people, farming plants. It's weird. And then I realized, wait, no, this is just an intermediate time. I'm lucky enough to see these plants as babies, but these are all going in the ground. This is just when I get to see them. They're actually going to be in a home, breathing, and giving us oxygen in a short amount of time. And that's when I flipped that idea of what this is, and getting the answers as to how I can produce more abundance. So the first 3 years, you're going to treat every tree the same. You're going to cut them back vigorously. As they begin to grow and get bigger, you're going to have more branches and more possibilities for drumsticks. Okay.